Illinois Governor J.B. Pritzker announcing a third term today as he makes a pitch to get your vote. Believe it or not, we're there. 2026 election starting in fine style. Tons of people already tossing their hats into the ring for various races. We'll see what kind of field the Republicans offer for the gubernatorial election. We'll also hear what the governor has to say today. He's got 4 stops, one in Chicago, Rockford, Peoria, and then in Springfield this evening. And he's obviously spent millions of his own dollars in his political campaigns. He's a billionaire. He's on his second term, getting ready for the third term. So it's going to be a lot of conversation about Governor J.B. Pritzker, but also what does this mean for a possible run for the White House in 2028? So clearly the governor is going to be asked those questions quite a bit throughout the day today. But somebody who ran against Pritzker as lieutenant governor for the Republican Party in 2022 is now tossing her hat into the ring for a state house seat. So I want to bring her on now to talk about the general politics of the Illinois legislature, but also to get her reaction to Governor J.B. Pritzker announcing a third bid for re-election. Stephanie Trussell joins us now. She was the Republican lieutenant governor candidate with Darren Bailey in 2022. Stephanie, thanks for taking time with us this morning. Let's go ahead and get your reaction to the governor announcing that he is running for a third term.
Thank you so much for having me. I don't think anyone is surprised that he's running for a third term. I guess us on this side of the aisle, people that are right of center, we're confused how he could have the nerve, the audacity to run for a third term, considering his track record over the last 2 terms.
What do you think are some of the biggest criticisms that Pritzker's going to have to navigate this next election?
Well, let's talk about losing a congressional seat. The numbers don't lie. People are fleeing Illinois. Let's talk about all the major corporations that have moved their headquarters or much of their operations to other states that are friendlier to businesses. I mean, look at what's happening in Chicago. The fact that we're a sanctuary state offering sanctuary to people that are here without our permission, but citizens here have no sanctuary from the taxes, the fees that we are paying to make up for the people that are flooding our borders here in Illinois.
Stephanie, we've got, of course, the political landscape in the state of Illinois dominated by Democrats. Every statewide constitutional office, you've got the House with a supermajority, you've got the Senate with a supermajority. How do you feel that Republicans stand a chance in a state like Illinois?
Oh, I'm so glad you asked me that question. I was fortunate enough that my mom sent me to private school, so I was taught by nuns, and they really drill basic math. And I think about 78 in the House, 78 Democrats over 40 Republicans. That's an improper fraction. And I just want to break it down like this. There's 78 Republicans in this state that we can put up against those Democrats. If we just put up 78 solid candidates and flip simply 20 seats, we can make a big difference. We can go back to Springfield at the negotiation table instead of being in the super duper minority. I know we can do it. You're trying to tell me that we can't make sure every Democrat has an opponent, that they have to print signs, that they have to print literature, because they're running on their track record. Look at the budget they just shoved down our throats. Look what's happening to our state. So I am motivated. The fact that Trump only lost by 9 points, that's almost a victory in deep blue Illinois. I just go back to our roots, which is Abraham Lincoln, which is Ronald Reagan. This is the land of Lincoln. This is the birthplace and where Ronald Reagan was born and raised. Yes, we can do it. Those 2 presidents did things that people said they could never do. And I am so ready to take on that charge.
Stephanie Trussell joins us. She is a candidate for a state house seat currently being held by Democrat State Representative Tara Costa Howard. Obviously, you still got to get through a primary season. Not sure how many other names are going to toss their hat into the ring for that, even for the Democratic side, for that instance. But the big thing that you highlight on your website, Stephanie, is the Homeschool Act that
Yes.
Costa Howard brought forward. What do you think that says about her chances to maintain that seat with as large of an outpour of opposition there was to that bill?
Well, I think the Democrats were very brilliant in having her introduce this bill because they felt she was so popular. She didn't even get an opponent last time. So they figure, who can we give this charge to? Who's going to do this for us? They knew this was going to be an unpopular bill. They've tried it before, but I guess they had no idea how they were going to take this quiet group of people who like to just be by themselves, taking care of their children, pouring a classical education and their values into their children. They woke sleeping bears. They came together. I was at a picnic recently celebrating the victory, and they said, we normally like to keep to ourselves, but as a result of Tara Costa Howard, they've come together, they've united. And so I think, I know, I don't think they underestimated the power of those homeschoolers. I was very fortunate to travel the state, 102 counties. I've been hugged on and prayed over. I've been to many, many, many homeschool events. I've even judged the homeschool debate event a couple few years ago, even before I was a candidate. These are people you don't want to mess with. And I kept hearing over and over again, if this bill passes, I'm going to leave Illinois. Can we afford to lose any more good people? I joke that the Democrats have become my vacation planners. I've been to Naples, I've been to St. Cloud, Michigan, and I recently got back from Port Washington, Wisconsin, because people that I love are fleeing and they have new homes and they invite me out. If I just get there, I get to spend the weekend in some amazing places. And I want to make sure good people that live in Illinois, that love this state, don't feel like they have to move, like they have no choice. I am ready to go down and defend the best state in the union. I'm willing to go down and fight against what's happening in Springfield. I just need, 19 other people to win. I'm very confident in my ability to outwork my opponent. After going on a season of, again, driving for 5 hours to speak for 3 minutes, driving for 2 hours. The fact that I have these three major towns that are right together, I feel like I can run the district in what compared to what I had to do last time. I'm going to knock every door because I know I won't be able to match her penny for penny when it comes to raising money. And JB Pritzker has deep pockets, but I'm simply going to outwork her. I'm going to knock every door 2 or 3 times to let people know who I am. Common sense. I moved to DuPage County in 1994 with 3 children. I wound up raising 5 children here. And more importantly, my granddaughter attends the same school district where her parents met. I'm very dedicated to DuPage County because of I have 5 adult children here and I have a business here. So I'm ready to fight to make this a place where people stay and not flee.
We're talking with Stephanie Trussell. She is a candidate for the Republican nomination in a state house district currently held by Democrat State Representative Tara Costa Howard. You mentioned Governor Pritzker's campaign money. I kind of want to reflect a bit more on what the governor plans to do today with a announcement for re-election campaign. It would be a third term for him as the lieutenant governor candidate for the Republicans alongside Darren Bailey, who is the gubernatorial candidate in 2022. What kind of advice could you give to whoever is going to be the Republican candidate heading into the 2026 gubernatorial election?
Well, I happen to live in DuPage, and as you know, our sheriff, who has kept this county safe, who I just love for his passion and his dedication to making sure he can do whatever he can, it's because he doesn't want to see those guys back in his jail, guys or women, getting gang tattoos removed, teaching them, giving them an opportunity to earn their GED or work skills. And so I really like James Mendrick. I'm not sure exactly how full our site is going to be when it comes to the primary, but I know we've got some great candidates. And so I'm motivated by this. And what I would tell everyone after spending over a year of my life on the road, don't be afraid to hang out in those collar counties. You have to spend time in deep blue Chicago. And that's the comments that I would hear when I would go to events in Chicago. Those people would say to me at town hall, they would say, we only see the Republicans 2 or 3 months before an election. Go there. Those people have been showing up at these city hall meetings, begging to be red pilled, saying we're not going to vote for the Democrats anymore. And so it's time for us to engage with a group of people that we thought were solid blue, but they've shown us recently that they share our values. They want to join us in this effort to defeat JB Pritzker and everyone down in Springfield that are just, I love how they say, let's tax the rich, let's make them pay their fair share. But every time you look around, it's this regular, hardworking people like you and me that are getting nickel and dime to death. If it were up to them, we'd be paying $1.50 every time we got an Amazon or a food delivery. How is that making people like JB Pritzker pay their fair share?
Stephanie, for people interested in learning more about your state house candidacy, where can they find that information?
Well, I'm on social media quite a bit, and I just got back on X, and so I have to get better at posting there. I know that's a place where people like to get a lot of their information, but I'm an old lady, so I do a lot on Facebook. I have my personal page, Stephanie W. Trussell, and my professional page, Stephanie Trussell. My website is Trussell, FOR, spelled out, Illinois.com, and you can sign up to volunteer. My first event as a candidate, I'm so excited to be walking in the parade in my town. A couple years ago, Tara Costa Howard came over to me and my family and shook our hands in this parade. And this year, I get to go and stand with my banner. With hopefully, a lot of people will show up at the junior high in Lyle. We only have one, and get there before 9:30. And I'm going to give you a T-shirt if you come and walk with me to show the Democrats that we are going to flip the 42nd.
Stephanie Trussell, candidate for the 42nd House District for the Republican nomination. Greatly appreciate you taking the time with us and also giving your perspective on running for lieutenant governor and the types of things that Republican candidates could find useful heading into the 2026 election. So appreciate your time this morning.
Oh, it's my pleasure.
It's Illinois in Focus Daily. I'm Greg Bishop. Like, subscribe, hit that notification bell, and wake up with us each and every weekday morning for the very latest in how you are impacted by state governments here in the land of Lincoln. Plenty more to tackle, especially with the 2026 election seeming to get back into full force. Holy cow, are we really there already? I think we are. And you'll be able to stay up to date each and every weekday morning here with Illinois in Focus Daily.